Shalom, everyone. Today we're going to do a very important teaching on Revelation and understanding the Hebrew calendar and the apocalyptic calendar. This is a very delicate subject because there has been a lot of confusion, a lot of speculation, a lot of paranoia. And by having the wrong timeline, you end up believing in the wrong Messiah, in the wrong antichrist, living under paranoia, and you end up on your own conclusions. Let me just give you an example. There are a lot of people saying Messiah is coming tomorrow, which is not true because the book of Revelation tells us of things that need to happen 7 years and even more years before he comes back. But to make the story short, a lot of people are saying Messiah is coming back tomorrow, in 1 month, in 6 months, whatever. Therefore, Obama is the Antichrist, or Trump is the Antichrist, or the president of France is the Antichrist, or the king of Saudi Arabia. All of this is absolute nonsense. And by having the wrong calendar, people live under paranoia. They believe in the false Messiah. They don't even have a clue who is the true Antichrist, and they put a lot of confusion in their lives. So let us simplify this. Probably this is going to be um, one of the most important videos you have heard in a lot of time, because I'm going to give you some synthesized information just based on Revelation chapter 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Focus in these three chapters, and try to understand the message the Father is giving you. So I'm going to try to clarify this confusion that has been assailing Christians, believers, Messianics for the past probably 70 years. First of all, there are many things that are written in prophetic codes. There are many things that are written in prophetic pictures. There are many deep concepts about the revelation. I am not going to go into that. I am just going to go into the facts. People can have dreams, people can speculate, people can have different interpretations, that's fine. But I'm just going to quote few facts in Revelation from chapter 9 to chapter 13 that will probably help you a lot. Number one, a lot of people talk about the 7 years of tribulation, or the tribulation will be 3 years and a half. And they talk about post-tribulation rapture and many of those things. I'm not going to touch those things. I'm just going to touch some facts and the Hebrew calendar. Number one fact, um, before we even enter into the last 7 years, we have a war here in the book of Revelation, where chapter 9, where a third of mankind gets killed. This war has never happened in the history of humanity. So it's gonna most likely be Third World War. So we have a war. We don't know how long that war is gonna last. With nuclear weapons, it can last 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 months. We don't know. But we know 1/3 of humanity gets killed. Okay? Okay. Once that war is over, as we proceed with the book of Revelation, chapter 11, the temple is going to be built. Actually, the Temple Institute in Jerusalem has been gaining power, and they have all the stones and the utensils and everything ready to build the temple. They are just waiting for an event or a war that will destroy the Muslim mosque so that they can build the third temple. So after this war is over, we don't know how long it's going to last, but let's say it starts today. It definitely is gonna last a few months at least. And then, we will have the building of the temple. It's going to take a little bit building the temple. Even though people have modern technology, it will take at least several months to build that temple. I'm not giving that number. And once that temple is built, we will have the two witnesses prophesying for 3 years and a half, very clearly here in chapter 11. And after 3 years and a half, when they have ended their testimony, it says that the beast, will kill them. which is very interesting. So we have 3 years and a half of the two witnesses. They finish their testimony, so the beast shows up, kills them, and then the beast, the Antichrist and his system, he begins a reign of terror for 3 years and a half. And after those 3 years and a half, then Messiah comes. But we cannot jump Revelation, and there are some things that need to happen. So if people tell you Yeshua's coming back in 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, is paranoia, is false doctrine, false teaching, just brings chaos, is completely false. If people tell you Yeshua's coming back in 3 years, 4 years, is absolute false information. When you see the Third World War happening, you know we are near. When you see the end of Third World War, you know we are near. When you see people building the third temple, you know you are approaching the end. And when you see the third temple finished and the two witnesses beginning their ministry, you are 7 years away from Messiah. Now, when these two witnesses, they finish their ministry, there is another sign. After 3 years and a half, there's an earthquake. A powerful earthquake. This has not happened. And once that quake happens and the two witnesses get killed, then the Antichrist will come and he will reign for 3 years and a half. These signs are impossible to miss. Once the Antichrist finishes his 3 years and a half, there's another earthquake, all the cities of the nations fall, Yeshua comes back and he gathers his remnant. But let us go step by step. Before we even enter into the last 7 years of the apocalypse, we need to have a war where 1/3 of humanity gets killed. It's very clear. Just focus from Revelation 9 through 13. Very clear. Then we will see the Jewish people building the temple. Then we go to Revelation 11. Then we see the temple finished. Once the temple is finished, the two witnesses will be prophesying for 3 years and a half. It's going to be impossible to miss because they are going to begin at the same time the temple is built. And then when they finish their ministry, there's going to be an earthquake. They are going to be killed. Their bodies are going to be 3 days and a half in the street, and there is going to be an earthquake. That has not happened. Then the Antichrist comes for 3 years and a half. He forces the whole world into his beast system. Nobody can buy and sell without the mark. And after 3 years and a half, Yeshua comes back. When he comes back, there are many judgments. One of those judgments is that there is a mega quake and all the cities of the nations fall. So basically, where are we right now? We are not even in the last 7 years, but we are getting close. We're getting very, very close. So I hope this teaching blesses you and puts order into your life to walk in wisdom, clarity, and holiness before the Father. So let us do a summary. We're not even in the last 7 years of tribulation, and nowhere in the Bible it says that the tribulation lasts 7 years. The Bible talks about the last 7 years with the two witnesses and the Antichrist, but before that, there are many judgments where millions of people die, which is the beginning of sorrows. And we see Third World War, 1/3 of humanity gets killed, and that's not even part of the last 7 years. So Yeshua is at least more than 7 years away, because even though if Third World War would begin today, we would still need for the war to end. It will take several months. We will need to wait for the temple to be finished. It will take several months. And once we see the temple finished, then we are 7 years away. But we need to see the temple finished. After the temple is finished, the two witnesses will prophesy. And once they finish their ministry, when we are 3 years and a half from Yeshua's second coming, we will see that mighty quake, that hits Jerusalem. And after that mighty quake and the two witnesses get killed, then we have 3 years and a half. So the Bible is very clear. Yeshua cannot come back tomorrow or in 5 months. That is false teaching, is impossible. Before he comes back, the Antichrist needs to be ruling the whole world for 3 years and a half. Before the Antichrist shows up and takes rulership over the entire world, the two witnesses need to be prophesying for 3 years and a half, and a quake needs to happen in Jerusalem when they get killed. When they resurrect, there is this quake. So before Yeshua comes back, the Antichrist needs to rule the world for 3 years and a half. Before the Antichrist shows up, there needs to be this quake. Before this quake, The two witnesses need to be prophesying for 3 years and a half. Before the two witnesses show up, the temple needs to be built. And before the temple is built, we have a war where 1/3 of humanity gets killed. So a lot of people showing up and saying that they are one of the two witnesses, they are false prophets. Stay away from them. Delusional people. A lot of people saying, oh, I am one of the two witnesses and I've been prophesying for already like 2 years, so we have only 1 year left. All of this is false doctrine. The two witnesses, the true ones, authentic ones, will show up only after Third World War, where 1/3 of humanity gets killed. At the very same time they finish the temple, when the inauguration of the temple begins, they begin their ministry for 3 years and a half. And when their ministry ends, there is an earthquake in Jerusalem. So I hope this teaching helps you and blesses you and helps you to put order into your life. It's very important to understand these passages of Revelation. Shalom and blessings to all. Bye bye.